Planning Minister Charles Abel, speaking during the signing of the United Nations Development Assistance Framework, said this is an outcome of the relationship that Papua New Guinea learned from challenges with a changing world, something the government is trying to adapt to bring a more realistic approach to development.
The Department of National Planning is trying very hard to modify our development framework so it is more holistic, and it takes into account initially, of course, including the Millennium Development Goals, which we've spoken a lot about. But as we now move into the 2030 Agenda and Sustainable Development Goals, Papua New Guinea has developed its very own sustainable, responsible development strategy.
He said the government is working very hard to modify the country's development strategy to align development processes and to incorporate local plans into the Sustainable Development Goals.
And I want to thank the United Nations for supporting that process, helping us in that regard, in terms of particularly now developing the Medium-Term Development Plan number 3, which will cover the next 5 years. And as I've explained, will align with the political cycle. As the incoming government comes in, the Department of National Planning will conclude the Medium-Term Development Plan number 3 in consultation with the United Nations, particularly the UNDP, to incorporate the Sustainable Development Goals into that.
These two plans are interrelated and represent the 5-year plans for the country with respect to international commitments to sustainable developments. Abel said Papua New Guinea has all the relevant features and opportunities to contribute to sustainable development locally and internationally, which this framework takes into account. United Nations Development Programme Countries Coordinator Roy Trivedi said that this framework is a collective effort for the UN partnership with various stakeholders.
This is the framework that guides our relationship with government and the people of Papua New Guinea, and it is very much aligned to, exactly as Minister said, the vision of the country, the 2050 vision, the 2030 agenda that Minister also spoke about, all of the government's priorities, including the responsible, sustainable, the STARS policy, which was absolutely a huge milestone for all of us in the last few years. The medium-term development plan and so on. So all of these things are aligned, and it is also aligned, of course, with the Sustainable Development Goals that Papua New Guinea, together with 192 other nations, has signed up to.
Eric Arupma, National EMTV News.